Hello, good morning. I hope that you're all well and that you had a good week. Did you enjoy yesterday? The coronation was amazing. It really was. I was glued to my iPad watching everything. I got up really early and I sat and I stitched for part of it, but there were so many times I had to put my needle down and just focus intently on what was going on. The whole thing from start to finish was just spectacular, and it made me terribly proud to be British, and very grateful that we have the stability of a royal family. And you know, Prince Charles and Queen Camilla, they did us proud, and the Prince and Princess of Wales and Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, they stole the show. They really did. Princess Charlotte looked absolutely adorable. She's so beautiful. And Prince George, he conducted himself so well as a page of honour. You know, at 9 years of age, he was the youngest one, yet there was something very kingly about him performing his duties. And well, Prince Louis, he's just, well, you could eat him. He's just adorable. There were lots and lots of highlights about the day for me. I found the ceremony very moving on a sort of spiritual level. I think, obviously, being a needleworker, the beautiful embroidery that was everywhere through the coronation blew me away. Queen Camilla's dress. Did you spot the two Jack Russell dogs embroidered on the hem of her gown? Those two dogs she rescued from Battersea Dog's Home, and I just thought that was absolutely wonderful that it was incorporated into her coronation dress. And also the name of her children and grandchildren were embroidered amongst the vines and flowers that were on the skirt of her dress. It's little things like that that make something very special. Anyway, I watched it twice. When it was all over, I went back and watched it all over again. Very nice. Coronations. This week we crowned our Queen of the May for 2023, and it is the beautiful Maria Ewing. This sampler is everything a schoolgirl sampler should be. Isn't that gorgeous? It's magnificent. The tump filled with strawberries. Those strawberries are delicious. You can almost reach out and pluck one and pop it in your mouth. The greens that Maria chose to stitch a sampler with are exquisite. Her sense of design and colour. There's something very harmonious about this sampler, and it's quite magnificent actually. There's some sort of regality about it. It's gorgeous, a very worthy Queen of the May. The Lord's Prayer. It is a very special prayer, and I don't think you have to be particularly religious to find the words moving. It's a very special prayer. Just have a little closer look at this. So beautiful. Now, Maria was reproduced and stitched by Lisa Brown in New Jersey. Lisa's a very dear friend, and Lisa actually wrote a postscript for the booklet, and Lisa said, Maria Ewing was love at first sight. She arrived in February 2021 and brought sunshine on a cold winter's day. Maria's colours are beautifully preserved and she was reproduced using the colours on the front of the sampler. I stitched her model on 46 count linen, which, when finished, was almost the exact size of the original sampler. Maria was an excellent stitcher. Her execution was precise and accurate. It amazes me that at the young age of 11, Maria took such great care with her work. My impression of Maria is that she was a very organised and disciplined girl. She shows great attention to detail in the way that she matched her top and bottom borders, then also matched her side borders with perfect symmetry. In the border flowers, she carefully placed each pair of colours so as not to repeat a combination. She did so similarly in the floral band beneath the verse. I think she was very intentional with her colours and that the results were not just a happy accident. The balance of greens, reds and blue against an otherwise neutral palette makes the sampler so visually appealing and alive with colour. I feel Maria's sampler is a masterclass in design, colour placement and execution. Do you love her as much as I do, Lisa? Well, I can answer that question. Yes, you do. I could not believe the orders I woke up to on Friday morning. I think that this sampler speaks to so many of us. It is absolutely everything a schoolgirl sampler from the 1800s should be. And Maria's taste in her colour and her composition makes her a very worthy Queen of the May. Now, Maria's sampler is stitched in cross stitch over 2, except for the verse that is stitched in cross stitch over 1. Oh, excuse me. I've already had somebody contact me asking, would we have any objections if they recharted or charted a substitute verse that could be stitched over 2, making the sampler suitable for stitching on Ada. Honestly, at Hands Across the Sea Samplers, we do not mind whatsoever if you personalise your sampler. I think that by doing that, you are following in the footsteps of the original sampler maker. The original sampler maker would have taken inspiration from her needleworks teacher's samplers and the other girls around her that were stitching, and she would have taken the idea or the basic design of a sampler or several samplers, mashed them together, changed them up, added things, take things away, and then she would have had her sampler. And I think it's very important that when you spend hundreds and hundreds of hours stitching a sampler, that it is your sampler. Anyway, Maria used 24 colours and Lisa stitched the sampler using soie d'Alger, but we do enclose a conversion for soie 103 and DMC. The design area is 271 stitches by 329. For example, if you stitch the sampler on 28 count linen, the design area would be 19.36 inches by 23.5 inches. If you stitch the sampler on 46 count linen, which is what Lisa did and Maria, the design area will be 11.78 by 14.3 inches. Now, Lisa very carefully matched the linen that she stitched the model on to the antique sampler, and she decided to stitch the model on fibre on a whim's parchment, and I really do think that is a wonderful, wonderful base to stitch this sampler on, just as Maria did, because the colour of the parchment matches the original sampler so beautifully. Isn't that gorgeous? A lot to engage your needle. And I would have to admit that I would be very tempted to start at the bottom with this beautiful scene here. That's a magnificent basket. This would be beautiful stitched as for a pin cushion, as would these. There's something quite regal about this sampler. Lisa finished stitching this sampler a long time ago, and when she sent it to me, I said, Lisa, this has got to be a Queen of the May. So this was held especially for this weekend. The booklet is available on our website, and it is in stores around the world. Our distributors have a good supply of the booklet. It comes with a bookmark that incorporates a label for the back of your sampler, and the front of the bookmark acts as a reference for your colours as you're stitching. The booklet has a centrefold, and let's find something, an interesting part of it. Let's start with the front page. They're all beautiful, every page of this. And the graph is very clear to read. Now, this booklet is also available as a PDF download on the Hands Across the Sea Samplers website. With one purchase of the PDF, you get 3 versions of the chart. You get a multi-page colour graph version, a multi-page black and white version, and a single page colour version. I have so many requests from needleworkers asking if we will bring our older designs out as a PDF. I'm trying to find time to do that. I really, really am. I personally prefer to stitch off my phone or my iPad on a single page that I can blow up as big as I want. And of course, when you've got a single page, you've got no overlaps, which makes it so much easier. Okay, right. What's happened this week? Well, this week I have been very, very busy working on a project for that's part of a very special project, which we will announce at the end of this year. It's amazing how far ahead you have to plan when you are, bringing things out. The Queen of May for 2024 is almost finished. That's how far we have to work ahead. Anyway, I've done a lot of stitching this week, and I finished that project, and I started a new project, and it's this French sampler. This is the start of it. Very Christmassy colours actually, but as we work down, other colours come into the sampler, and the bottom section of this sampler is very unusual. My needle is itching to get there. I think that's what's been driving me forward. Now this sampler to me will always bring back memories of the Coronation, because I worked on this sampler all day yesterday as I was watching the Coronation. It's funny, I can look at a sampler I stitched 20 years ago, and I can remember what was going on in my life when I stitched that sampler. It's just the same when you sort of hear a song on the radio, you think, I remember when that song came out, I first danced to it at, a youth club, or, I was driving down this road, or, a song brings back memories, and samplers bring back memories for me. Can't wait to get back on that today. We're off tomorrow for a couple of days at our favourite hotel in Devon. And I've got my red stitching project to take with me. I don't know how much stitching I'm going to get done. one of the reasons we stay at this particular hotel is that the dogs love it, and there's some really, really lovely walks for the dogs. But the beginning of this week, we had to take Hugo to the vets. Over last weekend, he started crying, and it was really unusual. I went up the stairs and the dogs followed me everywhere, and when I was upstairs I could hear Hugo doing that sort of cry when his ball is somewhere that he can't get it, and he's sort of asking me to come and get his ball. So I went down the stairs and I looked and I couldn't see his ball. So I said, come on boy, let's go upstairs. But he wouldn't come upstairs and he cried. And then that night, when we went to go to bed and he went to go upstairs, as he was going up the stairs, he was crying and he was holding his one leg up. So made an appointment to go to the vets, and we went to see the vet, and we saw an orthopaedic specialist. We're very lucky with our vets. They have a really good team of vets. It's an animal hospital, our vets. She said that Hugo has got hip dysplasia, which is very, very worrying. She has sort of put him on rest for a week, so there's been no walks and no going up steps. I've been sleeping downstairs with him. I just felt that we couldn't shut the dogs downstairs and us go upstairs when the dogs always come up to bed with us. So I've been sleeping on the sofa. Has there been an improvement in this week? I don't know. I really don't know. I think we need a couple more days to see if rest is helping. He's obviously done something, because he has never displayed any symptoms of this before, other than he sits with his back legs slightly out, which the vet says is a sign that there could be something going on with his hips. But anyway, we shall see. Gosh, I went digressing then. Yeah, so let's go back a bit. When we're away, though we won't be walking, I will be stitching on a red sampler for my red sampler room. This week, I've had a few antique samplers come. This one I'm going to show you did come a few weeks ago. I just haven't had a chance to talk about it. And this sampler was stitched by a boy. Here it is. And it was stitched by Samuel Harriman. Now, Samuel was, he tells us he was born February the 13th, 1839. And he signed the teetotal pledge on February the 29th, 1848. So when he was 9 years of age, he took the pledge. And he's recorded here that wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise, which is Proverb 21. I have found Samuel in family history records, and he was a Methodist. I wonder if he kept to his pledge. We will not know that. Boy samplers are so unusual. I can't wait to stitch this and get it up on my wall. I've already started to chart it, and hopefully, because it's a single colour, it'll be a travel project for the future for me. Card-wise, I'm going to read 3 cards today because 2 of them are quite short. This one came on a Mrs. Campbell card. Now, these have never been for sale. These have always been gifts that I give. And everybody who attended my workshop at Hobby House Needleworks last year had one of these cards. And this lady says, I will enjoy stitching the samplers, although I fear they will take me rather longer than one summer to complete. Thank you again for your generosity. Looking forward to seeing you again in September. this lady is from the UK and she is coming to the Great British Sampler Weekend. That won't be long now, that's the end of September. Excitement is building for the Great British Sampler Weekend. Now the next one is happy belated birthday. I think I may have sent you birthday greetings about 10 years ago. That's when I was 50. It was a block I stitched in a quilt for you. We've had a very snowy winter, third most in recorded history last week. Now bear in mind this card came a few weeks ago, but I'm taking them in turns to read. Last week about 10 inches of new snow. Spring has sprung and we have had a great melt off underway. I'm enjoying the red box for now, just looking at it. So much planning, wow. Appreciate your hard work. This time of year I don't get as much stitching done as I garden and my new book is keeping me very busy. Happy birthday with great admiration, and PS, looking forward to seeing you this fall. This lady is from the US and she's also coming to the Great British Sampler Weekend. And yes, you did send me birthday greetings in the form of a block for a quilt. When I was 50, a group of needleworkers cross-stitched blocks which were sent to a needleworker in the UK who put them into a quilt, and this was a 50th birthday present from a group of stitchers, and the lady who wrote that card stitched that block. This quilt is very, 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 very precious to me. A lot of work went into this, and I will be eternally grateful for all of those who contributed towards this. Elaine Suller actually put the quilt together, and the quilt squares were organised by Krista and Joanne. Very, very precious. I was presented with this in the restaurant in the Victoria and Albert Museum when a group of us gathered to have a day in London, and it was such a special day. After we met at the V&A and had lunch, we went to the Clothmakers Association to see some samplers that are in the V&A collection. At the V&A, the samplers are not on display. They're held at the Clothworkers Association, which was at Blythe House. Now, the last time I looked, Blythe House is closed, and there is a new building being built to house the samplers and the collection. I don't know if that's finished. I haven't looked. It was such a memorable day, and this quilt acts not only as a memory of that day, but when I use this quilt, I always feel that I'm wrapped in the love of needleworkers from around the world that stitched those quilt blocks. So thank you. What else? Oh, one more card. I was thrilled to finally receive my red box when I returned from my trip. It was a welcome sight to see the parcels sitting on my front door. The contents of the box are outstanding. I have already started using some of the goodies that were in the box. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to model stitch for hats. Having never done that before, I was hesitant to model stitch, but you put my fears to rest and gave me the confidence to proceed, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much for letting all of us take part in your 60th birthday celebration. Looking at the red box, I can only look in awe and marvel at the hours you put in to chart, stitch and pack each and every one of the items. It all shows your love of needlework and your dedication to the art. I cherish our friendship and hope to see, I hope to more beautiful samplers. I hope to model stitch more beautiful samplers charted by you. This is from one of our model stitchers and somebody who I feel very, very blessed to call my friend. I've known this lady for a long, long time, but the first time we met in person was last year at Hobby House Needleworks, and it was very, very special. It's really funny when you know somebody through needlework and you've shared your love of needlework via the internet. When you do actually finally meet, it's not as if you're meeting for the first time. It's just sort of like, you know, you carry on from the last sort of video call or text conversation that you had. But it was very, very special to meet this lady and to give her a hug in person. She's very much part of Hat. She's been a model stitcher for us from day one, and her work is absolutely beautiful. Okay, I think that rounds it up for today. Should we have one more look at the Queen of May? There she is. Absolutely gorgeous. Lisa did an amazing job reproducing this sampler, and her stitching, as always, is exquisite. Every stitch is perfection. I hope that you enjoy Maria, and Lisa and I are both looking forward to seeing some finished Marias later this year. Next week, I don't know if there's going to be a video. I am travelling to London on the Sunday to fly over to the States. I may have the opportunity to do a video at the end of this week. It just depends what I get back to after we've had our few days away. The following weekend I will be in Nashville. Again, I might do a video, I don't know at the moment. We actually, Linda and I fly back, or we leave the States the following Sunday to arrive in this country on the Monday. So it very much depends what's going on. But even if I don't do a Flosstube, I am thinking of you. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I just looked at some information on YouTube during the week, and do you know what? We are 40,000 views of 2 million views. Can't believe that. That is just totally amazing. So thank you to everybody who listens to me each Sunday. Until the next time, whenever that's going to be, stay safe, stay well. Bye-bye.